Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be doing the second part of our mega collection haul, and if you haven't seen the first part, which I put out on Tuesday, I'll stick a link up in one of the corners. And yeah, if you head over and check that out before watching this one, because as I say, the totals that we're going to do at the end of the video will be including everything that was in that video as well, and we got some absolutely amazing new additions to the collection then. But in today's video, as I said on that video, we have got one console in particular that we have just got an absolutely ginormous collection of games for. And they are all in this bag, absolutely chock full of PS1 games. So yeah, it is by far my biggest PS1 haul ever. And when I went over to this collector's house, they actually pulled out all of their PS1 games that they had in storage. And I think in total there was about 700 games with very few doubles. Probably 4 or 5 doubles. So yeah, it was an absolutely amazing collection. I wish I was in the position to have just had them all. But yeah, I just didn't have the money. But what I did do is I did get this bag full, and there are some absolutely amazing heavy hitters, and as well quite a few wishlist items that I'm checking off. So let's dive straight in and have a look at the first one. So the first game that we've got is a US NTSC game, and I will admit this is part of a game franchise that I absolutely love, and out of everything that's out there, I am praying that this game gets the remake treatment, and that is the original Dino Crisis. So yeah, I saw this there, saw that it was the NTSC version, and I just love the way that they look. Obviously over in the US, all of the PlayStation games, apart from a few which were released in sort of big boxes, were all released in CD cases. I'm not too sure why they were done differently. If anyone knows, leave me a comment down below. Obviously over here we got what we class as the normal cases, but I will say the CD case is probably a better idea. Obviously they're easier to replace when they get broke, and they don't take as much room on the shelf. So I think if you sort of look at it, yeah, so for just slightly bigger. So 2 of these is just slightly bigger than a PAL PS1 case. But yeah, I saw it, I had to grab it, and yeah, really chuffed to have that in the collection. So for that one, I paid £15 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for about £45 on eBay. Apart from the first 4 games that I'm going to go through, I will literally, everything else is just going to be one big price at the end. So after we've gone through all the PlayStation 1 games, I'll give you a price that I've paid for all of the PS1 games. Next up, we've got Discworld 2. So I think everything else now is a PAL game. It was just literally the one NTSC game. But yeah, the reason I picked this up, I know that the Discworlds are sort of highly sought after. I've currently got the original Discworld as a big box PC game, but I vaguely knew that there was a sequel. But yeah, so decided to pick it up. I will admit, looking at the artwork on the back, it looks like a game that I'm really looking forward to playing this. And it's one that I'm definitely going to try and make sure that I get in before the video goes live. So this one, paid £20 for that, goes for £30 at CEX and £40 on eBay. Then we got the original Need for Speed. The reason I picked this up is because I've never actually played the original game. I've seen footage of it online, but never actually played it myself, never had a copy to play. So that was the reason for picking this one up. This one, paid $15 for this, it goes for $40 on eBay. And I think most of the PS1 games that we've got as well are all complete as well. There are a few towards the end which I think are missing the manuals. Then next up we've got Medieval 2. The reason for picking this one up is because we picked up the original Medieval a little while ago. So yeah, I wanted to get the sequel, put it in with there. I think actually, if I remember rightly, yeah, I did pick it up, just disc and manual, a little while ago. but obviously this is the platinum version. I didn't realise this was the platinum, so I will be keeping that. So yeah, decided to sort of grab that, put that in the collection, so that it was a complete in-box version to go with the other. That one, paid £20 for that. It goes for about £20 on eBay. And then we're going to get into the bulk of the stuff now. So there's no purchase price for these, or no individual purchase prices, but I will go through CEX and eBay prices as and when they're available. So the first game that we've got is Hot Shot. I have no clue what this is. I am assuming it might be a light gun game, but I'm not too sure. As I say, it's a game I've never heard of. So that was the big reason for putting it into the pile. That one goes for £8 on eBay. Then we've got Alone in the Dark, the new Nightmare. I will be honest, I've never really played any of the Alone in the Dark games. I think at one point I might have had a copy of this for my original sort of my PS1, the small console. But I don't think I really put any time into it at all. So yeah, happy to have that. Definitely one that I'm going to give a go, because as I say, I've never played any of the Alone in the Dark games. I think actually, no, tell a lie, I played the Xbox one, just capturing footage for it, but didn't really get into it too far. Right, then we've got Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. The reason for picking this up actually was a couple of weeks before, so I think actually in the boot fair video from last week, I didn't put it in the video, but I went to a stall and they had a small stack, I think it was about 5 PS1 games, and this was one of the games in there, but they were just asking stupid money. So yeah, when I saw that there, I decided to put that in. That one goes for £9 at CEX. I don't think I actually said, Alone in the Dark goes for £10 at CEX and £20 on eBay. And sorry, that was £9 on eBay, not CEX. I'm getting myself confused. Right, this next game. So this is a sequel to a game, and I played this game originally on the PC back in, well, it must have been mid-90s when it was out. And that is the Descent 2. So yeah, I was absolutely over the moon to get this. I've been looking to get hold of both Descent and Descent 2 on the PS1. Obviously, the collector didn't have the first Descent there, so I am going to have a look, because I have seen someone else pick up a copy of the first one recently. And when we were looking up eBay prices, it's actually really come down in price. I think it's like £15, £20 now. So I might look to just grab a copy of that off eBay. But yeah, really happy to have Descent 2. That one goes for £10 on eBay, sorry. Right, then we've got Creatures Raised in Space. And the reason I got this was I originally remember playing this on the PC. So it was the normal version, Creatures. And it was during that time when virtual pets were a big thing. So yeah, I saw this there. It really sort of reminded me of playing that game. And literally all it was the original Creatures on the desktop. It was just like a little desktop pet. So like as you're doing things on the desktop, this thing would be sort of bouncing about the screen. Very interesting, but yeah, so I saw that there, decided to pick it up. I'm assuming, I don't know how it works in relation to how it worked on the desktop, but obviously it's like raise me, feed me, love me. So it's definitely sort of a virtual pet game. That one goes for £5 on eBay. I'm just going to split these up a bit so that I don't give you wrong prices like I normally do. Okay, all sorted. Right, carrying on. We have got Evil Dead, Hail to the King. So in the last video, we picked up Evil Dead on the original Xbox. And then, yeah, obviously we got another copy of Evil Dead, this time on the PS1. And I'll be honest, I've not seen anything about this game. So it's definitely one I'm going to try and capture footage for, so that I can see what it's like. That one goes for £25 at both CEX and eBay. Then, right, so this is another game in a series that I have been collecting for absolutely years. And that is Nuclear Strike. So, originally this started as a series that I played on the Mega Drive. Both Desert Strike, Urban Strike was the third one. Desert Strike was the first one. Urban Strike was the third one. And I can't for the life of me remember what the second one was called. But yeah, this one, I think, if I remember rightly, this is the fifth game in the series. So there's another game on the PS1. It's also on the Saturn. And then you've got this one, which is, I think this is the fifth one in the series. I'll leave a little note below. I'll do a bit more research after filming. But yeah, saw that there, decided to chuck that in. That one goes for £12 on eBay. Then we've got Star Wars Dark Forces. So this is a first-person shooter based in the Star Wars universe. And the reason for picking this up was because I think I've got a disc-only copy on the PC. I think it was originally my cousin's, and then when he was getting rid of all his games, he passed them over to me. So yeah, obviously I haven't been able to play that because I haven't had a PC to load it up on. So when I saw that this was there, I decided to chuck that in. This one goes for £18 at CEX, £20 on eBay. Then we've got Harvest Moon, Back to Nature. And I'll be honest, the reason for picking this up, I know next to nothing about the Harvest Moon series. I've never played them. And yeah, just don't know anything about them. The reason I picked it up was I thought that it was a sort of Nintendo exclusive series. Didn't realise that it was on any other platform. So that was the main reason for picking this up. And yeah, happy to have it in the collection. This one goes for £32 on CEX and £60 on eBay. So yeah, a really good pickup there. Then this next one, once again, it was one I'd never heard of it before, never seen it, so decided to grab it. And that is Winky the Little Bear. It sounds so wrong, it really does. But yeah, fully localised in English, French and German. Includes cartoon, film, jigsaw puzzle and colouring game. So yeah, I don't know, I know nothing about it. It literally bought it on the name. So yeah, interested to see what that one is. That goes for £7 on eBay. Wasn't on CEX. Then next up, we've got two games that I absolutely loved, especially this first one. And that is Duke Nukem. So this is essentially Duke Nukem 3D. It was the third game that was released in the Duke Nukem series. And yeah, this game was an interesting one. So when I was in secondary school, I was, let's say I got bored in IT. So I used to end up just mucking about. And what I ended up doing, I don't know how I managed it. But I ended up I basically ended up being allowed to rebuild one of the computers in the school library. And once again, I don't know how I was able to do it. Obviously, at the time as well, the head of IT just didn't like me. He really didn't. And I think it was because I pretty much had no interest. Back then, when I was doing GCSE IT, it was essentially just a Microsoft Office course. And yeah, I used to just go about circumventing the network security. And I think it was only when I was in sixth form, so like 1998, that we got internet. And then we got internet that everyone could access. The student internet was extremely limited. I think there was like 20 sites you could access. Everything else was blocked. But the teachers had unrestricted internet access. So when I was in sixth form, I'm really hoping they don't see this video. So yeah, I used to sell the teachers logins. I was able to get hold of the teachers logins, and I was able to sell them to students so that everyone had unrestricted internet access. But what I did was on the library computer that I was able to sort of rebuild and then install my own version of Windows on. which then basically removed all of the restrictions that the head of IT had put in place. I actually installed Duke Nukem 3D on the PC, so you'd be sitting in the library at lunch and all you would hear was, "Come get some, shake it baby," and it was, looking back at it now, it was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I will admit, I loved the original Duke Nukem 3D when it first came out. I've got it on the PC, I've got it on Steam, I've got loads of different copies of it, but seeing it on the PlayStation, I just wanted to grab it, and yeah, really chuffed to have that one. So that goes for £12 at CEX, £15 on eBay. And then to go with that as well, we've also got Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. And a big reason for picking this up was because this was one that I definitely had a copied version of. So didn't have a proper version of it. So really glad to finally have that one in the collection. This one goes for £10 on eBay. Then next up we've got a Ghostbusters game. And this is the Extreme Ghostbusters, the Ultimate Invasion. Now, the Extreme, so when the Ghostbusters was popular in the 80s, you had an animated series called The Real Ghostbusters that was released. The reason it was called The Real Ghostbusters because there was already an animated series called The Ghostbusters, and they had the trademark for it as an animated series. And then after that series sort of petered out, they then tried to revive the Ghostbusters franchise in sort of animated form by releasing the Extreme Ghostbusters. It didn't do well at all, and yeah, sort of disappeared into obscurity. But this was a game that was released to go along with that animated series. And yeah, from what I've seen of it, as I say, I've not played it, but I don't think it's a great game from what I've seen. But yeah, definitely going to give it a go, and hopefully sort of get some footage in the video. That one goes for £15 on eBay. And then next up we've got Dracula 2, The Last Sanctuary. And I want to say that we've already got Dracula. We've got the first one. I think I've picked this up before, but I need to check. I can't actually remember. But from what I remember, these are sort of point and click games. And I will admit, I love point and click games. There is one game on the PC that I regularly go back to play. I've completed it so many times now that it is essentially just a speed run when I go through it. And that's a game called Mission Critical. I do have it on, I do have just the disc for it, but I do at some point want to try and get hold of the big box version. So yeah, knowing that this was a point and click game, that was the big reason for picking it up. That one we didn't pay anything. We will get to the pay in a minute. It goes for £10 at CEX, £15 on eBay. I'll get there in a minute. And then next, I'm going to do these next two together because I didn't actually realise until I got home that I'd picked up both of these. And that is Road Rash Jailbreak. So yeah, we've got the normal black label, and then we've got the EA Classics. As I say, didn't realise I'd put both of these in. If I'd known that, I'd have just got the black label. But yeah, just decided to grab this. I think we've already got one of them in. We've already got a Road Rash game on the PS1 in the collection, I think. And then I think we've got now two on the Mega Drive now as well. So the black label one, that goes for £12 at CEX, £20 on eBay. And then the EA Classics goes for £12 at CEX, and surprisingly enough, £25 on eBay. So yeah, really surprised that that one's more expensive than the black label. I know it, and we're not even a quarter of the way through yet. Right, next up we've got a game called Rascal. Once again, I know nothing about this one. It was purely the fact that I'd not seen it before, and it had a colourful label that I picked it up. So this one goes for £6 on eBay. And once again, I'm going to do these next two together as well. And that is Everybody's Golf 1 and 2. So yeah, I've got a couple of these in the collection now, and I really like them because they're like sort of arcadey, sort of very very sort of pick up and play golf games. So yeah, happy to have these in the collection. Once again, I think the case on that one's good. Everyone's Golf 2 has got a bit of damage to the back there, but the first one goes for £15 and the second one goes for £10, both on eBay. Then we've got South Park. So this was another one that I'd been wanting to grab, but wasn't in any sort of rush. And yeah, I sort of saw it there, decided to grab it. It's basically sort of like an open world. I don't want to say open world platform because that don't really fit it, but it's like an open world, and you get to sort of explore all of South Park. So yeah, happy to have that one. That one goes for £15 at CEX and £15 on eBay. And then carrying on with the South Park games, we've got South Park Chef's Love Shack. I think this is like a party game, but I'll be honest, I've never played it. I don't think I've ever seen any footage for it either. I've heard of it, I knew that it existed, but yeah, never actually played it. So that one goes for £10 at CEX, £15 on eBay. Then we've got Landmaker, crazy puzzle action that keeps on building. So this looks... No, it doesn't look like what I thought it was. I don't know with this one. Once again, it was another one that I didn't recognise it. Hadn't seen it before, so decided to sort of chuck it in. This one goes for £8 on eBay. Then next up, we've got Magic Carpet. And yes, I do know of this one. I have played it because we've actually got... It was one of the early games that I got on my Sega Saturn when I started collecting for that. So yeah, really happy to have it on the PS1. And yeah, that was the main reason for picking it up, because I knew of it. And as I say, I had played it briefly on the Saturn. So yeah, grabbed that. That one goes for £10 on eBay. Right, this next one. This was a wishlist game that I've been wanting to pick up for absolutely ages and just haven't had a chance to grab it. We've got it as a sort of a big box PC game. But yeah, I knew that it was on the PS1, so wanted to grab it. And that is Theme Hospital. An absolutely amazing game. It is so funny, and yeah, it's a game that I absolutely love playing. I do actually, I think I've got this on, well, what was Origin. So yeah, I have got the ability to play this on my PC. But yeah, I've been wanting to pick it up on the PS1 as soon as I could. So yeah, managed to grab that. That one goes for £15 at CEX, £17 on eBay. Then we've got Planet of the Apes, and I'll be honest, the reason for picking this one up was purely because I'd never seen it before. I've seen the majority of the Planet of the Apes films, both old and new, but yeah, didn't know that there was a PS1 game for it. So yeah, immediately sort of picked that up, chucked that into the pile. That one goes for £10 on eBay. So I was quite surprised at that it was so cheap. And as I say, it's a game that I hadn't heard of. Alright, next up we've got Hugo and Hugo Frog Fighter. So I've heard of Hugo. I'll be honest, I've never played any of the games in the Hugo series. So yeah, this will be an interesting one to play. This one goes for £6 on eBay. Then we've got Hugo 2. Obviously, carrying on, there was there was a couple of the games there, so I decided to grab them and yeah, try and put as much of the set together as I could. That one goes for £4 at CEX, £8 on eBay. And then we've got Hugo Black Diamond Fever. I don't know if the order that I'm showing them in is the correct order. I'm just making an assumption. And yeah, so yeah, decided to grab that. It was obviously the third game in the series. I don't know if there's any more. I'm going to need to have a look. I think the reason I thought this was the third one is because this is the most expensive one. This goes for £15 on eBay. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, so the next game that we've got is Jurassic Park: The Lost World. So this is a game obviously based on the second Jurassic Park film. I'll be honest, I've seen this game about, never played it. I don't even know what the premise of it. I don't know if you're playing the characters and you're sort of following through the film, or if it's something completely different. So yeah, this is one that I'm looking forward to seeing, and seeing sort of what the storyline of it is. That one goes for £15 on eBay. And then carrying on with Jurassic Park, another game that I've actually been wanting to pick up for a while, and that is Jurassic Park Warpath. So this is the EA Classic version, so I'm still going to carry on keeping an eye out for the Black Label version. But yeah, at least I have got something instead of nothing. And basically what this is a dinosaurs-based one-on-one fighter. A bit like, is it Killer Instinct? I think it is, yeah, Killer Instinct. So yeah, happy to have that one in the collection. That goes for £15 at CEX, £20 on eBay. Right, and we're actually on the second row of the bag. So the next game that we've got is Shaolin. Yeah, I don't know anything about this one. I'm assuming that it is going to be sort of a martial arts based sort of beat 'em up type game. But yeah, as I say, I don't know anything about it. And yeah, interesting, because I'm just looking on the back and it's just saying that it will work with the multi-tap adapters as well. So yeah, plays up to 1 to 8 players. But then it says one or 2 players. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a look at that and see what the crack is with that. That one goes for £12 on eBay. Then we've got Soul Blade. So yeah, as soon as I saw this there, I wanted to pick it up because this is the first game that was released in the Soul Calibur series. And yeah, I'll be honest, I've never actually played it. I really enjoyed the Soul Calibur games, but yeah, never had a chance to play the original. So yeah, looking forward to having that in the collection now. It is just the Platinum version, so once again, I am still going to keep my eye out for the Black Label. But this one goes for £12 on CEX, £16 on eBay. Then we've got Cleopatra's Fortune. Once again, I know nothing about this. It looks like a sort of Tetris slash sort of columns type game, where you've got like the sort of match. Sorry, I've got my phone going off left, right, and centre. So yeah, you got to sort of match the falling tiles. Yeah, once again, don't know. This is the first one that we've got that doesn't have the manual, but this one without the manual will go for £5 on eBay. Then next up we have got Final Fantasy VI. Big reason for picking this up was because I didn't have it in the collection. The only problem with it is it is missing the manual, so I'm going to try and track down a manual online. And I'm just having a look because it feels like it's rattling about a bit. Yeah, so it does need a new insert just there, but it also does have the Final Fantasy X. Is that the right one? Yeah, it is. Final Fantasy X demo disc, compatible with PS2 only. So that was a bit of an interesting one. But yeah, as I say, I am going to try and track down the manual for this so that I can have it complete. We did look, the collector thought that they had it complete, but just couldn't find it. So that one goes for £20 at both CEX and eBay. Then we've got Lemmings. Oh no, more Lemmings. And yeah, anytime I get to pick up the Lemmings games, I'll always pick them up. They are games that I remember from sort of when I was younger. And yeah, think they are absolutely brilliant puzzle games. This one goes for £11 on CEX. And then now we are getting into the real heavy hitters of what I've picked up. And yeah, it's definitely a case of saving the best for last. So we have got Street Fighter 2, or Street Fighter the Collection 2. Yeah, Street Fighter Collection 2. So it contains 3 classic arcade exact fighters from the Street Fighter 2 franchise. Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighters, and doesn't say what the third one is. Don't know. But yeah, another Street Fighter game for the collection. Obviously, we did get one in the last video. The reason I put that there and not here was because that was a separate deal, wasn't in with sort of these ones. So yeah, happy to have that one. That one goes for £18 on both CEX and eBay. Then we've got Street Fighter EX2 Plus. Once again, I'll be honest, I picked up all the Street Fighter games that they had. So yeah, really happy to have these in the collection. This one, £18 on CEX, £28 on eBay. And the last Street Fighter game, I promise, is Street Fighter Alpha 3. So yeah, once again, it was a Street Fighter game I didn't have. Unfortunately, none of the Street Fighter games are Black Label. I don't know if they come in sort of exclusive Black Label or they were all in the sort of the different cases. But just having them in the collection is good enough for me. So that goes for £25 at CEX, £20 on eBay. Then we've got X-Men Mutant Academy. And this was another one, actually, we did get a little while ago. No, we didn't. It's not that one. So yeah, we didn't actually have that one in the collection. So that was the reason for picking that one up. That one goes for £12 on eBay. And then we've got X-Men Mutant Academy 2, which was the one that we picked up previously, which is just case and manual. So what I might look to do is I might look to just sell that on eBay, make a bit of money back, because, yeah, as I say, I've now got the complete in-box version. This one goes for £7 on eBay, so probably not going to be a lot of money in that, actually. Right. Oh. I don't know why I keep doing these videos sitting on the floor. Next up, we have got Grand Theft Auto Limited Edition. So this includes a free audio soundtrack. Yes, it does. So we've got the audio CD and then the game itself. I don't know what, other than a slightly different box art, I don't know what the difference is. Unfortunately, it is missing the manual and the maps. So what I'm going to look to do is I am going to look to get them separately so that we can have this complete. And then I'm going to look to swap out the front cover because it is all cracked. And yeah, we'll try and make that look as good as possible. So in this current condition, this goes for about £50 on eBay. I think once I put the manuals and the maps in here, it will take it up to, I think it's about £80 complete. So yeah, really happy to have that one in the collection. This next one actually is actually a double. I didn't realise that I already had this, and I'm a bit gutted because this collector actually had 2 different variants of this. And it was, yeah, this one and the standalone version. And yeah, I just didn't realise that this was the one that I had. And that is Grand Theft Auto London. So yeah, really happy to have this. Obviously, we've already got it in the collection, so I am probably just going to look to flip this. It doesn't, yeah, it's got the manual and the registration card. Doesn't have the manual, unfortunately. So that one goes for £12 at CEX, £15 on eBay. So what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to look to see what the voucher price is on CEX for that. And see if it's going to be worthwhile selling it on eBay or just trading it in at CEX on the next CEX trip. Then we've got, right, this game, I actually ended up getting it before. And the way that I actually got it, I went to one of my local, one of the charity shops in Maidstone, and they had a load of PS1 games, and I picked up, I think it was Medal of Honor, and when I got home, opened up the case, realised it actually had this game in there, and this game was actually a lot more expensive than the Medal of Honor, and that is Hogs of War. So yeah, the big reason for getting this was obviously I just had it disc only, and really wanted to get it complete, because this one goes for £32 on CEX, £30 on eBay. So yeah, this was it's quite a sought after game. So really glad to now have the complete version in the collection. And yeah, that was the big reason, because obviously I had the disc. And that will definitely be a disc that I will look to sell on eBay. And then the final one of this batch of PlayStation games, there are still more to go through. This game I have been after for absolutely ages, and I will admit it's massively come down in price. Last time I looked at this, it was about an £80 and £90 game, and that is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jeff Wayne's is actually a composer, and what he done was he created a musical version of War of the Worlds, and it's an album that I absolutely love. I listen to it really as often as I can. It is an immense piece of music. It really is. If you've never listened to it, I would just advise sort of putting it on and just listen to it all the way through. It is amazing. And then, yeah, about 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I actually saw that there was a PS1 game. And I think when I saw it, it was, there was just the one listing that sort of flashed up. And as I say, I think it was for about £80 at the time. And I just, at the time, just couldn't afford it. And yeah, it's always been a game that I've sort of kept my eye out for, but never seen. And then we were going through all these PS1 games, I saw it there. And it was one of those times when your excitement level goes through the roof and you are literally doing all you can to sort of contain your excitement at finding something. So yeah, really chuffed. And I will admit, I've got no clue how this game is set up. It was just purely the fact that it was the sort of Jeff Wayne's one. So this is going to be one of the first games that I play out of this whole stack. I'm really looking forward to having a go at it, and yeah, hopefully it is a good game. So as I say, it used to sell for about £80. Now it's dropped down to about, so it goes for £20 at CEX and about £30 on eBay. So yeah, quite a significant drop in price for that one. Then next up, we've got a couple of the double disc games, or when I say the double cases. And the first one that we've got is Help Charity Compilation. I know nothing about this. Help Charity Compilation, 3 legendary games. Profits for the sale, Help will be donated to children's charities. Yeah, as I say, it was one that I saw him in his collection. I've never seen it before, so decided to pick it up. As I say, it comes with 3 games. It's got Road Rash, Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, and then the original Mist as well. I think actually Broken Sword and Mist, we have got big box versions on the PC. And then Road Rash, I think that's the version that I've already got on the PS1. But yeah, it was a compilation that I've not seen before. And then got a couple of games on there that I've got on PC but not got on anywhere else, so that I can finally play them now. That one goes for £40 on eBay. So yeah, that was a really good score. Then next up, we've got X2, which is a Team 17 game. I'll be honest, the reason I picked this up was because we actually got it case only from Nikki a little while ago, and yeah, when I've looked it up, what it's going to cost me to get the disc, I could get a complete in-box version. There's not a lot of difference between disc only, and so yeah, just decided, I saw that there, decided to pick it up complete, and yeah, so that goes for £15 on eBay. Then next up, we've got Shockwave Assault. And I'll be quite honest, the reason that I picked this up was because looking at the artwork on the back, it looks like a sort of flying game. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a higher resolution or better graphics game of... Oh, what was the game on the Atari Jaguar? I've got it and I've played it, but I can't remember what the name of it is. That's what it reminded me of, obviously, just with FMV cutscenes. So yeah, looking forward to giving this a go and seeing sort of what it's like. This one goes for £12 on eBay. And then the final sort of double case game that we've got is DEFCON 5. And I'll be honest, the reason for picking this one up was purely based on the title. And yeah, I just thought I'd give it a go. I'll be honest, I don't know what it's about or anything like that. I do know, looking at the back, it is a Psygnosis game. So yeah, looking forward to giving that one a go. That goes for £30 on eBay. So yeah, another good pick up there. Then we also got a whole stack of PS1 demo discs as well. So I'm going to go through these a bit quicker. But there is a couple in here that I do want to highlight. But the first one that we've got is the demo disc of Chef's Love Shack. Obviously, we have got the full version game that we've picked up as well. But yeah, I grabbed that just purely because it was a demo disc. And you don't really see stuff like that too often. And then the next one, I'm going to go through all these together. Because we have got a set of 3 McDonald's demo discs. So each disc has got 4 different games, sorry. And yeah, I thought these were so cool. And yeah, when I got home, I was doing a bit more research into them and found out there was actually a 4th one. So I was proper gutted that we didn't have the 4th one in there. So I was looking it up on eBay and then sort of found the 4th one. It was selling for about £20, and I just, yeah, I couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger on it. But luckily, the seller then the collector reached out to me and said that they'd found the 4th one. So yeah, I then ended up getting the complete set of 4, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that is a really nice set. And then price wise, demo disc 1 goes for £10, demo disc 2 goes for £12, £15 for number 3, and then £20 for number 4. So yeah, it's definitely ones they obviously got less and less people pick them up as they went along. Then we've got a couple of the official PlayStation magazine discs. So we have got disc 14 volume 2. Big reason for getting this was having the Resident Evil 2 demo. That was cool. That one goes for £10. Then we've got disc 11 volume 2, Pandemonium 2, which I think we've got recently. I'm pretty sure we've got that one recently, which is good. That one goes for £7. I'll just scroll up a bit. Then we've got demo disc 42. Which, as you can see, is Metal Gear Solid Special Edition exclusive playable demo. That one goes for £12. And then we've got demo disc 43, which has got Legend of Kain Soul Reaver. And I will be honest with you, I haven't got a price down for that, because just before I started filming, I realised that I hadn't actually looked it up, because on my list here it was actually marked down as demo disc 42. So yeah, I hadn't actually pulled up a price for that. What I'll do is I'll stick the price, the eBay price, just down below. And then the last one that we've got is the registered users demo, and I think this one was basically the official PlayStation magazine demo 1, if I'm right, just purely because no, I've got this all wrong. So in the disc 43 we've got registered user demo 6, so I think this has actually got the wrong case in it, the wrong disc in it, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, So we've got 2 of these registered demo discs, different versions. Yeah, I don't know too much about it. The normal one, the first one, registered demo disc, it goes for £7. Then just before we wrap up the PS1 collection, we did get a couple more rental discs. So the first one that we've got is Speed Freaks. Once again, I don't think, yeah, this one doesn't come with a manual, and doesn't seem to have any instructions on the back, so this might be missing a manual. But that one normally goes for about £30 on eBay. Then we've got NFL Extreme. Yeah, once again, nothing else inside, so don't know whether it's meant to come with anything or not. That one goes for £15 on eBay. We've then got Colony Wars Vengeance. Now, I know we've got a Colony Wars. I don't think this is the version that we've got, so this might be a different version. Looking on the back, it does have the instructions, and there's nothing inside. But that one goes for £60. So yeah, that is a good find, that one. And then the final rental one we've got is, this is one I was sort of talking about earlier on, in the last video, sorry, about how rental games, even the common ones, can be really expensive. And obviously it is just the blockbuster artwork, but this is Ridge Racer Type 4. Yeah, nothing else inside, but it is just stupidly expensive. I could only find one listing for it online, and that listing is for £100. So yeah, absolutely mad, but really chuffed to have another blockbuster rental cover. So yeah, really happy with that one. And then before we get to the total, I'm just going to chuck these last 2 in as well. So we've got a couple of PS2 promo discs, which I don't think we've got any in the collection up until this point. So we've got Legion, the Legend of Excalibur. I don't know anything about this game, never played it, but yeah, it was the promo disc, and yeah, decided to grab that. I haven't got a price for this one, and I haven't got a price for the next one either, which is Metal Slug 5. So as I say, they are both promo discs, so they should have the full game on there. But yeah, really interested to have those in the collection, because stuff like that you don't see too often. So that's why whenever I see them, I'll always grab them. And then that is everything. So yeah, all of the PlayStation 1 games that we've got today, total price that we paid was £417. Everything that we've got prices for CEX totaled up to £377. And then if we'd got everything from eBay, which I think bar a couple of titles was everything, it would have cost us £1,215, yeah. So yeah, an absolutely amazing haul. And yeah, probably, as I say, the most amount of PlayStation 1 games that I have ever seen. Definitely the most amount that I've ever picked up. But that is not all. We have still got a couple more bits to go through today. So the first couple of bits we've got are actually in the box just here. And there's something very different. And they're actually some action figures. So yeah, I had seen a couple of these in the collector's collection before, but wasn't able to pull the trigger on them at the time, whereas now I was. So the first one that we've got is the Guilty Gear, is it Milia Rage? I'll be honest, I'm not too up to speed with the Guilty Gear games, but yeah, obviously apart from some yellowing on the plastic, the actual figure itself is in really good condition. It's all brand new and sealed. The box itself is a bit battered, but what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and find a sort of protective case for it, but I'm really struggling to find a case that will fit the large action figures. So if anyone's got any clue where I can find a sort of box protector for it, let me know in the comments down below, because yeah, I'm desperate to try and get one. So this one, paid £20 for it. looking it up online, they go for about £100, but this was another one. It was really difficult to price. There was not a lot of examples of it out there, but yeah, really happy to have that one in the collection. And then these next two are the two that I had seen previously. And the first one is SSX Tricky Eddie. And what you can do is on the back of it, it's then got all information on the character. And yeah, I believe there are 3 different ones for it to collect with this. It says that it's Series 1, but yeah, I don't know too much about them. As I say, it was just something that I'd never really seen before, and decided to sort of grab it. This one, paid 15 for it. It goes for about 30 on eBay. And then the other one that we've got is the SSX Tricky Moby. And as I say, there is a third one, and it's Elsie. So, and there might be 4 actually. So there might be 4. I think it's Simon. Yeah, Simon. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have a look. I do want to actually get the complete set of these, but yeah, it was just there was not a lot of information about them. So yeah, going to look forward to trying to track down those ones. So for that one, for the Moby one, I also paid £15 for that, and then yeah, it goes for about 30 on eBay. I think I have seen the LC one online, but it's only in the States, and I think it's going to like double the price if I try and sort of get it imported. Right. Next up, we've got a box just here, and this has got an absolutely amazing special edition in. Not the only special edition that we've got to look at yet, because yeah, we've got another special edition to go through just after this. But this one is the Driver San Francisco collector pack. And basically what it is if I just lift it up, there we go. So it's basically got the car model, and yeah, it's a bit of a sort of a diorama, and then just underneath you can sort of lift it off. It's then got the game, and what looks like a comic as well. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool collector's edition, and yeah, it was one I'm really glad to get added into the collection. So if I'm going to put those on there, and hopefully it'll all just fit back together. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, so finally got it back together. So yeah, absolutely, this just looks stunning. So just looking at the back, yeah, so it's got the map of San Francisco with all collectibles, the comic book, the retail version of the game, and then the collectible replica. It's also got some DLC, some 4 new challenges for the single player, and then 3 legendary cars. But I'll pretty much guarantee you either the DLC's been used or it's expired. But yeah, I just thought that was a really cool collectible, and yeah, one that I'm really happy to have in the collection. I've never seen it before, so that was the big reason for picking it up. So for this one, I paid £35 for this. Looking it up online, it goes for £52 at CEX, £60 on eBay. Right, so that box is done. Right, so this next box, it was, we were going through the cupboard that they had all of their PS1 games in. And as we were going through, sort of like towards the back, they had loads of empty console boxes. And right at the top, they had this. So it was just a brown box. But when we looked on the side, I saw ZeniMax. And it said PS4. So I was like, what is that? So we ended up, when we got it out, it was still sealed. So it has literally never been opened apart from when we opened it that day. And it is, I'm going to try and get it out so that I can put it all back in, because I've not got anywhere to store it, to display it at the moment. and I'm definitely going to keep it in this box. And it is the Doom Collector's Edition. So yeah, I was, as soon as I saw it, I was absolutely amazed. I had never really looked at this before, but yeah, when I saw it there, I was like, I am going home with that. So if you look on the back, it has got a Revenant statue on sort of an LED base. It's got an exclusive steelbook, sorry, metal game case, a full game of Doom, as well as the Demon multi-pack as well. Absolutely gorgeous, it really is. I have got a couple of these big, sort of the big statue collector's editions. And I'll be honest, I never know where to put them, because at the moment in this room I've not got the way to display them. I've currently got my Watch Dogs DedSec edition on PS4 just down here, and yeah, I'd love to actually have that out on display, but just don't have the room for it. But as I say, the fact that this was still sealed in the retail box was absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in, because as I say, it is brand new. It's never been opened, never been out of the box, and yeah, for now I want to keep it like that, and especially the fact that it's in the original sort of ZeniMax labelled box. So looking that one up online, so I paid £60 for that. It goes for £55 on CEX. Obviously that is in pre-owned condition. And then on eBay in new condition, it goes for £90. So yeah, really chuffed to have that in the collection. And then we've got two more bits that I've got here in the room at the moment, and then I'm going to go and grab the final piece in a minute. So the first one that we've got is actually a Mega Drive game, and this is Puyo Puyo on the Mega Drive. So this is the Japanese version. It is complete, which is absolutely brilliant. I think this is the first complete in-box Japanese game that I've got. Other than that, I've got two others. I think we've got Spider-Man, which we picked up recently. And then I've got Hard Driving as well, which I've had for absolutely ages. But yeah, I saw this there, obviously being a Japanese Mega Drive game. That was the big reason for picking it up. That one, paid £20 for it. It goes for about £20 on eBay. So yeah, no big saving there. And then the last game that we've got is, I'm just going to say what it is in English. It's Panic Bomberman on the Virtual Boy. So it is another complete in-box Virtual Boy game. So that takes us up to 4. I think in total there's what, 25, including the American variants of games that weren't necessarily released in Japan. But yeah, I am hoping at some point to go through and get at least a complete Japanese set of Virtual Boy games. But obviously, now that I've started with the complete inbox, and at the moment that's all I've got on the Virtual Boy, I am going to make sure that I complete them as complete inbox as well. So yeah, really chuffed to have that. And yeah, paid £40 for that. Goes for about £50 on eBay. And I will admit, I've actually had that, had a couple of copies of that sitting in my eBay watch list. So give me 2 minutes. I am going to go and get this other thing set up and then reposition the camera, because this was something that I'd seen in their collection, and initially when I saw it they weren't willing to let it go, but yeah, on this time obviously caught them sort of in a moment of weakness, and yeah, they let me take it away. So absolutely over the moon. So give me 2 minutes and I'll go and get that set up. So here it is, the final thing that I picked up, and this is a standee for Halo 5 Guardians. It is about 5 foot tall, just trying to, yeah, probably about 4.5, 5 foot tall, something like that. But it is absolutely immense. As I said, I saw that they had this, and it was actually sort of away in storage. Didn't actually have it out on display. So yeah, I saw it a little while ago, asked them sort of whether if they were getting rid of it to give me first dibs on it. And then, yeah, when we went round this time, they finally gave up and let me have it. And I will say we got it for an absolutely amazing price. I paid £40 for it. Obviously, being a store display, finding information on it is nigh on impossible. The closest that I've been able to see like this was a Halo 3 standee, and that one was selling for about £180. But yeah, I just think this is absolutely amazing. It has currently got a place in the dining room, and I've literally just been told by the wife to make sure that it goes back downstairs as soon as I'm finished. I will be honest, I quite like it there, and if I had the ability to keep it up here, it probably would be sat here from now on. But yeah, unfortunately I don't have the room in the game room for it. But yeah, it is absolutely superb. I love this, and I'd say out of all the store displays that I've got, this is probably my favourite out of everything. So yeah, that is everything that we've picked up. So let's wrap the video up, because I'm just seeing the time and we're probably sort of running on a bit long. Total price paid for everything across both videos was £1,240. If we'd got everything that we could from CEX, we'd be looking at a total price of £748. And then if we'd got everything from eBay, it would have been an absolutely mammoth £3,348. So yeah, some really good pickups there. And yeah, I am just over the moon with everything that we've got. I'm now going to go and get everything sorted out, start capturing gameplay footage so that you've got some gameplay footage for when the videos go live. And yeah, so with that said, if you did enjoy these videos, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye!